Good evening, everybody. It just came to my attention. Brian Callen's never heard of Blink-182.
What?
How dare you? asked. Well, I said, hey, I think I'm going to go to the Blink-182 concert in L.A.
You
this
said Blink,
weekend.
and I said, oh, from the book?
You went, oh, the book club?
I know.
No, not the book club. Evan, hit it.
Pop punk. Yeah.
High school, I was. I walked in the party
A lot of
with
cymbals,
this.
a lot of cymbals.
You know who's playing these drums, right?
Travis Barker.
Bet your sweet old ass.
Yeah, come on, guys, get it.
You bet your wrinkly ass. Small things. You never heard this?
Many times, actually.
No, don't act.
I have.
Now.
Yeah,
I'll take it, though.
I will. You know what else I like?
It reminds me
You know
of
what else
American Pie.
I love when they sing this song. That's the way. I like it. I will admit that I genuinely push it to the point where it's. I mean, last guy on the
You
planet
never
every
miss
time.
flights, though.
Never miss flights. I've missed it once. You got to push. And now I realize I'm in Toronto. I got to get through security way too long a line. I don't have fast pass with that.
Thanks, ISIS.
And then I got to get through. Then I got to get through customs.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, and I got to walk a half a mile. And I look at it and I go, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make my flight, which means I'll be stuck in Toronto. Got to get home to LA. Can't have this.
Love
Nope.
Toronto. Though.
So now I'm sitting there and I'm watching. There's this line for special people. Like, I don't know if they're first class.
You went full retard?
I don't know if they're first class. No, sir. No, that's not what I mean by special.
Oh, goddamn. I'm sorry.
No, I don't mean that. But that
Start
would be
drooling and shitting your pants?
That'd be an even better story. But no, I did
I
not.
was like, dude, I wouldn't say this on air if that's what you
No,
did. You
I
acted
meant
like you're in the
I meant
service?
people with badges. I meant people with like who look official, and they're just breezing through the checkpoint. And I go, you know what? I'm not gonna. It's the kind of line that snakes. You know the one in Vegas where you got a snake. You're snaking.
Nothing worse.
Nothing worse. I go. I'm not sitting in the snake. I'm not standing in the snake. This is not allowed. Can't have it. I'm Brian the Kid Callen, and I dropped some laughter on the Ottawans. I deserve.
They need to give back.
I see the guy who's checking people's things, and he turns his back for a second, and I just duck under. I do a boxing U-slip.
Whoop.
Right
No
under.
one stopped you. No cameras, nothing.
I got back up and looked at my ticket like I was like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, my coach ticket. I'm special. And I just, not first class either.
ISIS right now is listening, going, And this is where?
Yeah, exactly. Taking notes.
And the big guy just turned his back.
Yep.
Okay.
Taking notes. I walk up and they all look at me like this and they go, what are you doing? And I go, I am going through the line. And they go, well, that's the line. I go, well, not according to that guy right there. And I point right at him. I go,
And when they turn their back,
I go,
you
my
ran?
flight leaves in 45 minutes. And he goes, what guy? I go, that guy right there told me to come right here. I got to get to my flight. And the guy goes, well, we're ahead. And I go, whatever you want, no problem. Go ahead. We'll do that. I'm just going to, and I just start taking my stuff out. Boom. Now customs. Now I got another customs issue. Now in customs, you got to go through they have a computer that you have to do a readout. Now I got, 25 minutes. It's a problem. I just walk right to the customs guy. I walk right up.
Hey, man.
Yep.
Think you're Tom
And
Cruise?
he goes, what are you doing? I go, you know what? And my flight leaves. They told me to come right to you. He goes, who told you? I go, that guy right there. And I point right. And that guy,
This is
the guy
classic.
looks at me. And I look at him and I go, I point right at him. I'm looking right at him. He looks at me like he doesn't know what's going on. And he goes, that guy. I go, that guy right there. I point again. That guy right there told me to come to you right here. He
I'm
goes,
talking to you, Four Eyes.
And he goes, I don't know. This is, all right. Okay, what are you here for? I go, I was doing stand-up. You don't recognize me? And he goes, I think I do. I go, there you go. You're welcome. Bang.
Boom.
Good day.
You made
Last
it.
guy on the fucking plane.
Fuck,
yeah,
bro.
I just made it.
Dude, those water parks are fucking gnarly, man. I don't think there's enough safety at those.
Probably.
Like I remember, you know those things where it's almost like a wave. It's like a reoccurring wave. Like
Yeah.
people boogie board.
Yes.
Whatever. Some kids.
Wave pool.
Some kid's way too good at it. Like he goes to the park every fucking summer, every day, and he's on there showing off. Well, I remember I was in Florida with my dad and brother, and they just put that in. My dad, that looks fun. We wait in this long ass line. So this is the way it goes. It has the wave thing where it's just circling, and there's like pros up there, and everyone's videotaping. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then it goes it spits you out, and then turns in a lazy river. It goes around the rest of the park, blah, blah, blah. You know, like the lazy river, everyone's chilling.
Yeah.
But you go around everyone on the lines. And my dad's on it, and he's pretty good. Like, my dad's an athletic dude. He's going. I'm like, oh, damn, look at Dad go. I'm like, I could probably do it. My brother goes. He's decent. And then I'm up there. I'm on the boogie board for, I don't know, maybe a fucking second and a half. I'm like, and my fucking trunks go, my fucking bottoms go, and then I am I'm butt naked around the rest of the lazy river like this in the water. And my dad's just like, God damn it, man.
My son.
I'm talking.
My bully boy son.
Yeah, it was like,
all slippery and brown.
Slippery.
With your little willy.
Dick,
your little
like
dick.
8 or 9.
Your 8-year-old
It was
dick.
fucking like pro. Some kid who goes there every fucking summer for daycare. He's killing the game. He's up there for like 3 minutes. A light comes on to get him off. Then my dad, he's up there for like 2 minutes. I'm like, God damn, Dad. Big shark eyes doll smile even does the damn thing. White as fuck up there smiling the whole time. Then here's little brown. Here, Joe. Trunks, these bullshit fucking
like a
Tommy Hilfiger, fake Tommy Hilfiger trunks I got from Marshalls. Just see ya.
Just a little Snickers bar coming
Just,
down.
yo.
A well-oiled Snickers bar.
I was like,
with a
all
little,
right, man.
A little
I
nub.
swear to God, never gone on anything like that again. I was so embarrassed, man. But a guy who's just loading up on those punches,
just coming at
even
him.
if you listen to Dotson's Corner with Jackson and 6-gun Gibson or 6 Gibson, even they were like, he's just winding up, like duck under and
could
keep
see it,
doing
yeah.
your thing. Like, I didn't even watch the decision. Like, I saw it, and I was like, it's an easy win, and change the channel.
Wow.
And I see on the next morning,
Yeah.
Twitter, like, how crazy was that horrible decision? Or did you give it to Linc? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Fucking no.
Yeah, according to Fight Metric, Dodson landed 52% of his significant strikes. Lineker landed 28% of his.
Wow.
He threw a lot more. I would assume Lineker threw more.
Yeah,
power
more
strikes.
aggressive, threw more, all that stuff.
No, he didn't throw more.
He didn't throw
No,
more? I think
no,
he
no.
did. He did.
No.
Had to have thrown more punches.
No way.
Lineker?
No. What's the total strike number? Is that on there? Like,
I'm trying to
just
pull it up right
total
now.
strikes. No,
No?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Let's see.
You might be right. I looking at it, I would assume John threw more combos, more.
I felt like Lineker was throwing more. What
It wasn't even a fight.
What happened to Will Brooks?
Okay, here we go. Significant strikes. So Lineker landed 93 of 322.
So
Dodson landed 101 of 191. So he was So he threw
Lineker
less
threw a lot
and
more.
landed at twice as often.
That's
basically.
amazing that he threw less because he threw
Threw
100
less,
punches less.
landed twice as often.
100 punches less, right? Wow.
More than 100 punches less.
The judging's scary, man. And with those lighter weight classes, most of the time it's going to go to the judges.
Yeah.
You watch that fight, I didn't even think it was a fight. Like, I thought, well, Lineker's doing it. He's fun to watch. He's probably my favorite fighter to watch out of the weight class by far.
Yeah.
But as far as winning that fight, not even close.
Right.
I didn't even think it was remotely. I didn't even think it was much of a fight. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
It is crazy.
Gonzaga kicked me square in the nuts. Square in the nuts.
Yeah.
And it hurts, but you feel pressure from the crowd to keep fighting. You're like, I'm good, but actually really, really hurts. It'll fuck your fight. Like, think about if you're, people who train or if in anything, when you hit in the nuts, it'll fuck your whole game up. Like, you start to feel sick. So you see a lot of guys like Lineker got kicked in the nuts, and you see Dodson jumps on him right away. Like, a lot of guys know when you get kicked in the nuts, there's just time to pounce on them.
Yeah.
That's the time to do it. So it's an advantage. I personally think if the guy gets hit in the nuts hard enough, they should probably take a point right away from the guy because it changes the outcome of a fight. You'll see some guys get kicked in the nuts and then they get super emotional, start swinging. It'll fuck a fighter up.
Do you
man.
feel it later?
No, right away.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
Does it linger?
not really, right?
not really.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll fuck your day up though.
Yeah.
Or night up.
Oh, yeah. It's that time again. We got a bonus podcast because we got Aubrey Marcus, the CEO and on it owner. Aubrey, we usually
The magic
open,
man is what I call him.
Yeah, we open with
Or just friend.
God damn it.
So about a month ago, I had this trip booked, but I didn't have all the dates set out. And I wake up from this dream. And in the dream, this demon comes to me, like really visible, visceral demon comes to me and says, I'm going to kill you on September 23rd. And then boom, I wake up and open
so
my
intense.
eyes.
Well, that's
And it was
intense.
like, that was fucking gnarly. It's
Nothing
like
subtle about that demon.
It's like 4 a.m. No, it was very precise. I'm going to kill you on September 23rd. So it's 4 a.m. I click open my phone. I look at the dates of the trip. And that's the night that we have scheduled for ayahuasca. Now, maybe somewhere in my mind I knew that, but I wouldn't have been able to recite that. I was like, somewhere 21st through 27th. Anyways, that's the night we were planning to do ayahuasca. So I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to be a big one. So knowing that going through, I was kind of preparing, but some of it was just, I was thinking, man, maybe that was just a dream, right? So we go to drink the medicine, and ayahuasca is this psychedelic tea that they've been serving for thousands of years, DMT-based, orally active.
Hot tea.
And that's not hot, but it's spicy as fuck. It's like you're literally drinking the jungle. I actually have a documentary on the website, drinkthejungle.com.
I was just going to say, if it's not called Drink in the Jungle, you fucked up.
Yeah, Drink the Jungle. So anyways.
Good. That's a good title.
Yeah. So anyways, I drink the tea, and pretty much 30 minutes in, they start singing the Icaros, Yeah, you guys have heard those. Yeah. And so they start singing the Icaros, and it starts off super mellow. And I'm seeing flowers, and I'm seeing the jungle, but I'm feeling like what feels like what I call the little doctors, which is like little pieces of light that seem to be fixing different parts of my head and heart. They like come through, and they like almost like rewiring the circuits is what it feels like in my head. So I'm feeling that, and I hear this voice like, oh man, just chill. It was just a dream. Don't worry about it. So I was like, oh, awesome. I started having really cool visions. Like the first vision I had was this monument of this monkey, and then the words written and like inscribed in the stone. It says, "We are the pleasure monkeys." And I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. That's really what we are. We're fucking pleasure monkeys. We're here to like enjoy shit,
I'm
eat
a big
shit,
ass pleasure
have
orangutan.
sex, and smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And like,
Orangutan.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like so I was able to like identify this body and everything. It's like, all right, I'm a pleasure monkey. Like I'm cool with that.
Great t-shirt.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So anyways, go through the pleasure monkey, but still it's fixing that. And I'm thinking, man, this is going to be chill. I'm an hour in. There's only another couple hours to go. And then boom, like right out of my left-hand side. And first, let me say a caveat. I'm not a religious guy, but there's some religious kind of context to this that just kind of came up. And, a lot of this, and don't read into it too much. This is just my vision. This is just what's in my mind.
This is your
Exactly.
experience.
So anyway, so this demon comes to me from my left-hand side, and it's like this gnarly golem looking like a little thief, ugly, nasty little demon, like one
Satan,
of the little
like
vampire.
horns or something?
No. But he like bald head and like little vampire demon.
Just a little shithead.
Just like a little shithead demon, you know?
Schmiegel.
Schmiegely. Very schmiegely,
Yeah.
right? But it's compared to the other visions, which are like kind of pastel-y and very ephemeral, this is like, there's a fucking demon right there. So I identify it, and I've learned through my battles that you don't fight these guys. You just send them love. You recognize them being part of consciousness, part of the duality of all things that are life, light and dark, necessary to create the cosmos, necessary to allow free will, because without resistance, we would just escalate to enlightenment immediately. Everything would be easy. Mm-hmm. The game would be boring. It'd be like a video game without monsters. So the best way to treat these demons is to send them love. Be like, hey man, like here you are. I see you. I love you. You know, I appreciate the fact that you're holding down that polarity for all of consciousness.
And let me ask you,
and what did it look
before you
like?
go on, as you're having this vision, where were you sitting? What do you think your body was doing?
I'm lying down just
In the woods or what?
the jungle sounds are all around.
group of
Icaros.
people?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
18 people there, but
And they're all tripping balls.
they're all tripping in their own experience.
just
But
laying
I'm
there.
locked in.
This ayahuasca
And
shit is
meanwhile,
no joke.
You know what's crazy? Like meanwhile, the shamans almost never purge. They don't ever puke. But as soon as I started interacting with these dark forces, like they're kind of controlling the energy of the room, they were just puking their guts out. Like, damn. Like they were like
they were
helping,
doing it as well?
They were helping me with this energy that was moving through, right? So I knew it was gnarly, and I kept trying to send them messages like, it's going to be all right. Like,
You
it's
can
going to be
talk to 'em,
cool in your mind, right? Like, I got this. Like, we're going to be okay. But anyway, so I dissolved the red stone. And I'm like, fuck, this is so gnarly. And I was like, man, like, can I like at least see like a Jesus or something like that?
A little light at the end
And
of the
then
tunnel.
there was like a moment of respite where I saw Jesus come in, and Jesus met that dark force who could be the devil. And again, I'm using Christian terms, like all of the light meets all of the dark, and they immediately turned into gay lovers. And I got like a chance
Oh,
to
boy.
like laugh, and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, of
Yeah,
course they
little
love each other.
Brokeback- a little Brokeback
all of the light, of course, loves all of the dark. You know, it's the perfect balance. It's the yin and yang of the cosmos, right? Mm-hmm. And still though, I'm just sitting there kind of unsure, and I got a little bit of laugh out of it, and I can still feel the pull of darkness. And I just kind of surrendered deeper to just love and faith.
Fuck's
And then
sakes,
I felt something really cool happen. And I felt this like breastplate come like slap onto my chest, boom. And this big like fire opal gem right in my heart. And as soon as that hit me, I like just completely relaxed. And I felt light, like super light. And then I could feel wings like coming out of my back. And then all of a sudden I was flying like with all the eagles and angels of the world.
Roll now.
Yeah. And it was fucking amazing. We're here to maximize our own enjoyment. We're pleasure monkeys. Maximize your pleasure.
Come
and
on,
also,
1, 2, 3 pleasure monkeys.
Yeah,
The
totally.
1, 2, 3 pleasure monkeys.
And maximize the pleasure of everyone
make a
else
t-shirt.
around you, of the whole earth. Like everybody who's in existence, like make the whole game more fun. You know, like it ain't no fun if the homies don't have none.
Yeah,
You know,
preach.
like that's really what it's all about. And that gets summed up in Peru. You say para el bien de todos, for the good of all. And then when you really do that, you can empty yourself of all the ego and really forgive yourself and not try to make it all about you and what you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish. Like, how can you feel the most pleasure because you deserve to feel the most pleasure? How can you help everybody else feel the most? Because we're all fucked up. I'm fucked up. I'm ignorant. I'm constantly shocked at how ignorant, how quickly I forget the lessons I learn. But it's also, I've learned to forgive myself fast and not belabor these things and just recognize that no matter all of the failings that I've had, no matter how stupid I was when I was younger, it's all part of life. It's all part of
the failings.
existence.
The failings you have may not be failings. It may be part of a mindset that makes you better at something else. So sometimes you might be bad at this, but that's precisely why you're good at something else. So it's another way to look at things.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just part of the game, you know, and then realizing that I'm here as a force for the good of all. How can I do that the best job that I can?
The UFC 204 coming up this weekend, and how Bisping would get it done, or how Hendo would get it done. And Perillo came out today and said that Bisping's going to beat him via left head kick.
And I love Perillo. I think he's one of the best coaches in the business. But because he's not known for knocking guys out via head kick, so if that is your secret weapon, well, you just told everybody. And it's Dan Henderson. You don't think he's ever seen a left high kick before? And if anyone's going to get kicked in the head, it's going to be Bisping. He can't see out of his eye, for God's sakes. And he's been knocked out how many times by a left high kick? Vitor Belfort, Rockhold. Like, that's his M.O.
Can Hendo get that leg up there that
Probably
good
not.
these days?
Probably not. That's going to be, he's getting old.
He head kicked Lombard.
Spinning.
That's
Spinning elbow, right?
well, that's how he finished him.
That's how he finished him.
But he head kicked him. I mean, he really caught more.
Neither
of the
guy's
shoulder.
known for it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a bold claim. I love that coach. He's probably the best guy in the business right now. But that is bold, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man meter and the sports meter just hit red hot.
I'm so happy.
Jay Ellis walks in, all 6'2". He says he's 6'2". I'm giving him 6'3".
Every
take
bit
it.
of 6'3".
Total symmetry, and starring now in Insecure. We're gonna get into all that.
You know what? I think if I had to choose one, I would take Westbrook over Durant.
Would you?
Yes. Take LeBron out of the equation. If I had like a draft, if I was a president of a basketball team, I would take
Why?
Russell Westbrook. I like his passion. No one can guard him. He can shoot the lights out. I think he'll be better without Durant, because there's only so many basketballs to
Right.
go around.
Right.
So and I also think he has something to prove now. He has a chip on his shoulder. Like, oh, you guys think it's over because
Right.
Durant left?
Right.
I just happen to be one of the top 3 best players in the league. Check this out.
You know what I like about him? He looks like he might slap one of his teammates.
He looks like he's always mad.
Like seriously, and that's what I like about him. Like he looks like the ultimate competitor. And I feel like those guys compete, but I feel like there's very few guys who don't care about what the image is, and they just want to play
They just wanna
basketball
win.
and they just want to win.
Like Kobe.
Like Kobe.
Kobe said Russell Westbrook is the closest thing that he's ever seen to him. Kobe's already in the NBA. Russell was in high school and got to play one-on-one with Kobe. Wow. And Kobe was like, oh my God, he was going at him.
His
full
speed,
defense,
his speed,
everything.
man.
Like when you ever watch those old clips of Jordan when he was really young, coming out of like North Carolina, and you'd see how he would move, and you go, he's just a step faster. He'd get called for traveling a lot because he was just
So fast.
Like the refs had never seen anybody. I feel like Russell Westbrook as an athlete, just athletically, is that explosive.
Have you seen his workouts too? They're nuts. Like he'll be in Redondo on the sand, just doing work.
Yeah.
Like he's relentless.
I don't want to watch him. I'd probably throw up for him.
No, it's great. It's inspiring
For him.
Like there was a documentary. I wasn't a huge Kevin Durant fan. And I saw this documentary I think it was on HBO. Maybe it was a documentary on Kevin Durant. Not this year, the year before when they lost and was going that off season.
Yeah.
They show his work ethic. They show him in Oklahoma City doing all this stuff. And then Durant's blowing up his phone to come train with him. He's like, come run these hills with me. And he's like, he gets him there, and Westbrook's just doing work. Doesn't care about the cameras, just like you said. Doesn't care about his image. This dude's just doing work. So I think by Kevin Durant leaving, I think the Thunder will be better.
It'll elevate
Most
him.
people disagree with that.
There was this kid who used to come play open gym in the summers. His mom was a booker for a modeling agency. They needed a bunch of extras for something. I went and did it. I started talking to this chick. I was trying to hit on her. She wasn't really having it.
I've been there many times, my friend.
She was literally looking straight past me. But she started telling this story about how she just got back from Asia and she was there for like 3 months and she made $30,000 and everything was paid for. And I was like, yo, did you have crack up your
what's going on?
Like,
What'd you have to do for that?
And she was like, no, I was modeling. So I was like, all right, well that's what I need to do with my life. Like I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna be a male model.
I'm gonna do that. I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna do that.
Damn, yeah. That's a leap.
Yeah, a massive leap.
He's a good-looking guy.
But
though.
you know what? Here's what ended up happening. Nike is based in Portland. Columbia Sportswear is based in Portland. Adidas US is based in Portland. It was one of those towns where, like, if you were athletic, you could make a little money. This is just what it was, because Nike used so many people from Portland when they weren't using athletes.
Yes.
They used so many models from Portland, and most of them played at Portland State. They played at UP. They played at Concordia, where I ended up graduating. They played at Lewis and Clark. They played at all these like small schools, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, track, whatever. And they had these great athletic bodies. And so Adidas, Nike, and Columbia Sportswear were constantly using these people.
And to interrupt you for a second, I think the Nike store for a while was actually using real athletes too as their salespeople. So you'd walk in and be like, well, you look like you do, you're a professional athlete.
So you're the first gig that you booked was with Nike?
Was with Nike. I went in, I met that girl on a Friday. On Monday morning at like 10 o'clock, I put on the best outfit that I had, which was like basically this like horrible suit that I like wore when I graduated from high school.
Probably didn't fit very well. Wasn't tailored very well.
Man, it was so big and boxy, but I thought I was like this. I thought I was the sexiest dude on the planet.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You
I was
got
like,
a fresh cut.
I am about to I cut my own hair, but I couldn't afford it. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
That's you got a steady hand. He's got a steady hand.
I went in there. I took Polaroids. They circulated. I don't know what they did with the Polaroid. That was at like 11 o'clock in the morning. At 5 o'clock that same day, they called me and told me that I booked a Jordan catalog.
Wow. Jordan.
And I was like, yo,
Jordan.
I don't even know what this means. But
As a basketball player, though, Jordan?
Oh, yeah. Like, I was just like, do I get free stuff? I didn't even care about the money. I was like, do I get
11s? Can you give me the
Jordans?
new 11s? Yeah.
That's all I
Damn.
wanted. And it was right when they were starting to recirculate the J's, too. So it was also like, it was in that time period where like they were starting to go back and like do all the retros, right? They were starting to do the 8s. They were starting to do the 7s. This was like this was definitely after the patent leather phase, because they were starting to do patent in all the different colors. They did it in the baby blue. They was doing it in the gray,
Kind of
the
worn
red.
out a little bit, yeah.
That's real money too.
And so
right?
was it real money? But your friends, like, especially back then, if I went from football to modeling, my friends were like, what's wrong with you?
I didn't tell anybody.
They're just like, damn.
Nobody.
Look at Jay on the poster of Michael Jordan campaign.
My cousin who plays football at OU, his name is Jordan, this dude has literally twice caught me, because this didn't happen again when I started acting. I didn't tell anybody I was acting. So this is now twice this dude has caught me. So he would get dropped off at the mall on the weekends. There's nothing else to do. So like, on Saturday you go to the mall with your girlfriend and you just walk around all day long, right? Yeah. So he walks into Foot Action and I'm hanging up in Foot Action.
Oh shit.
And he tells my mom, I saw Jay in Foot Action, and she's like, nah, he goes to school in Oregon. And she's like, no. He's like, no, I saw him in a picture hanging in Foot Action. And she's like, all right, whatever. So the next weekend, my whole family's at the mall again. Jordan takes my mom into the Foot Action and sees me hanging up in Foot Action. And she calls me and she's like, why are you hanging in Foot Action? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I didn't know where they put these things. I just went in, shot it, and then left. I didn't care about that.
Great.
I just wanted the cash. Yeah. So I just went in, shot, and then left. Went back to class, went to practice. Why are you hanging in Foot Action? And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, it's a poster you hanging in Foot Action. I asked the manager for it, but he told me I can't have it until the end of the month. But I told him I'm your mama, so I should be able to take it now. And I was like, I don't think it works like that. I don't think you could boss the manager of Foot Action around. But I don't know. I mean, now it is hanging in her house, actually.
For sure, yeah.
Of course.
I think in the back of my mind, I think I always had this unstated thing, like thought that like the modeling will get me closer to acting. Couldn't be further from the truth.
Really?
No,
Couldn't
totally
be further.
different.
Like this totally different worlds.
Different
like
worlds.
couldn't be further.
They don't even talk to each other.
Don't even talk to each other unless you're a massive model.
I was gonna say there's a few that
They don't talk
made
to
the
each other.
transition, but not many. Like that's the exception.
I mean,
Even then, you jump into a whole different group of
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So it wasn't that. So like I left, I moved to LA. I got here and I was like, yo, somebody is gonna call me. I'm about to get a show. Like I thought somebody was just gonna like literally pull me off the streets of like Beverly Hills and be like, hey, where you been, man? We got a show for you. Come on, we got to get you over to
we've been
CBS
looking for you,
Radford
man.
because we got to do, we got to chemistry read you with a bunch of girls. You got to make out with a bunch of girls so we can see who your girl on the show is going to be. Like I literally thought that somebody was just going to give me a show.
Of course.
Man, it couldn't have been so much further from the truth.
what happened?
Oh my God.
You get thicker skin.
well, no, let me hear
You
what
get
happened.
way
though.
thicker skin. All right, so I get a part-time job. I get a
Doing
part-time
what?
job. I was working at Sports Club LA, which is now Equinox,
Nice.
directly below Endeavor, before it was WME.
Yep.
So I was like, agents come in here every single day. So an agent's gonna come in here at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna give him his towel. He's gonna like the way I gave him his towel, and he's gonna say, hey kid, come to my office, come see me. That shit didn't happen. So I got tired of working at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I got a part-time job working retail. Did that for a few years. And then I went to school with this kid. I grew up with this kid named Josh Henderson, who's an actor, who at the time was dating this very famous girl. And they threw this big party at the CBS Radford lot for the girl. And so I was wasted, like super, super drunk. And I was standing there talking to a couple people, telling them what it's like to live in a model house with 13 dudes. And this agent walks up to me and he's like, hey, are you an actor? And I'm like, yeah. Never took an acting class, never took a headshot, had no idea what acting. Like I wanted to do it, but never
You didn't
did
know
it.
what.
And I was like, yeah, I'm an actor. And he's like, cool, I want you to come to my office next week. Bring your headshot, bring your resume. Let's sit down and talk. All right, cool. So fast forward, I take in my modeling book because I didn't know what a headshot was. I type up every modeling job I had ever had. And like, I reach across the desk and I hand it to him and he looks at me and he goes, you have no idea what the hell you're doing, do you? And I go, no, but I swear to God, if you just give me a minute, I'll figure it out. Like, just give me a few months. Like, I'll get in class, I'll get headshots, whatever it is. Whatever it takes.
That's the athlete in there.
You- right? I was like, yo, I'm gonna compete. Like that was my thing.
Yep.
And we do have
But the
they
main
do,
characters-
they do their best. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that when you're a white man, or you're going to write from your experience.
experience.
It's very difficult for you to even be, and it might even be embarrassing for you to try to write for what a black or
Right.
a Latino or an Asian person
For
goes
sure.
through on a daily basis, right?
And that's what I was talking about. Forget who we had in there, but it's three white guys talking about what we do.
Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget. It's three white guys talking about what we do with, you see the shootings, the cop relations, all that stuff. And the three of us, three white guys giving our viewpoints. I was like, God, I wish it's not that I'm sick of hearing it. It's not that we didn't have valid points, but I think we need to hear it from an African American who, through their viewpoint, like
Right.
someone
Yeah.
from that side needs to speak up because
Right.
the white guys can talk all day. Like you look on CNN, and that's what bothers me most. You look on CNN, and it's these rich white guys. They
Right. have
no clue what it's like, literally no clue, and they're just breaking down their opinion, and you never see it from the other side.
And I think you're right. So like, the biggest thing is the behind the camera in this case, right? Like you have to diversify your writer's room because you're right. I don't think you can have a writer's room full of white men and women writing about a Latino, a black, or an Asian experience. It's not authentic. I actually don't even think you can do it for one character on a show.
Agreed.
No way.
I think you have to have diversity in your writers' rooms because I think that helps it helps make sure that character's voice is authentic, but I actually think it helps the story overall be more authentic because everybody's represented, and you're not going to say something that you don't realize is offensive or would never be said or just isn't true to
Or isn't even organic to the story.
To the story.
I always feel like it's being shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
And see, I think it's
Because
much less.
they think that's what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they think that's how they're supposed to act. Or They
Right.
think that's what they would say. It's like, why not just bring someone in who actually knows
No.
what the
Yeah.
fuck goes.
You would do it if it were the tech world. You would
Yes.
literally you would get someone who has Silicon Valley experience
Yes,
and
yes.
bring them in to consult. You know what I mean? To make sure the language was right.
Anything.
but then
or if you're
also-
playing a fighter, they usually talk to a fighter
Right.
or whatever, a
Yeah.
bodybuilder, or an athlete. If the character's an athlete,
Right.
they're gonna say, "What would you have done in this? How would you have broken this down?" You know what I'm saying?
I think money's going to dictate this. I think as you start to see a growing, say, just as an example, a growing black middle class
Right.
with more disposable income, they're going to want to experience on the screen what they have experienced, something they
Absolutely.
can identify. What's going to happen is, see, this shit doesn't happen with mandates. It doesn't happen because people are politically correct. It shouldn't happen for any of those reasons.
Right.
I think that's all bullshit because frankly, I don't think the majority of people in Hollywood are racist or prejudiced. I think they just don't even know how to fix the problem.
Don't know.
What I think is going to
Are they even
happen.
conscious of it though?
But I think so. I think most people have a sense of
What
fair
do you
play
think?
and they feel
What do
bad.
you think?
But
That's what I wanna
let me
know.
finish this point. What I'm saying is that I think what's going to happen and what is happening, and your show is an example, is that they're going to go, we got a whole market that's being ignored, and we have some pretty talented writers out
Absolutely.
here, and let's start tapping into those people.
Absolutely.
And by the way, you can find them on YouTube, you can find them here, and that's what's great about the free market.
Look at Tyler Perry.
I agree with that.
Correct.
Look at Tyler Perry. He's like, do what? I'm just going to start my own shit. I'm basically
Correct.
the male version of Oprah.
You know what
We're
I-
going to do this in Atlanta.
You know what I think it is? I think that like the need for diversity has been acknowledged, I think, in Hollywood, right? But I think you're right. It hasn't necessarily been addressed properly. And I think, like you said, it's tapping into writers of color. And whether it's bringing them onto projects, whether it's helping them create their own projects and get their own projects made. So I think it's that. But I went through right before I booked this. I went through pilot season, and Empire had just come out, and Empire was a massive hit, huge. So every network was like, "We need to have
A black show.
We need a black show. We need to have black people on our shows. We need a black show."
Copycat league, yeah.
Always.
and completely reactive, right? And like following, right? And so what you ended up seeing was all these scripts that were never, the diversity was just never thought about. You end up seeing them like, well, that person has to be black now. Well, that person has to be Asian now. Well, that person has to be this now. And they were shoehorning it. They were trying to make something
Force
fit
it.
that wasn't real, right? And so you ended up with I don't know if any shows actually survived from that pilot season. You ended up with shows. I
can't think of
I
it.
like literally I can't think of shows that
Blackish?
Because
Blackish?
Yeah, Blackish. But
no, because that
ABC?
actually came out that same year. Blackish was a mid-season show that same year.
Because you know what Empire does? Empire worked from character first, from people.
Right.
Like the
Think
struggle
about the talent. But think about the people that were casted.
But and
Terrence
the right,
Howard?
yeah,
And then what's the girl?
She's amazing.
Taraji.
Taraji's
She's
amazing.
phenomenal.
She's on another level. But it's not just the talent. It was also that script and that pilot and that
Right.
show was written first with the notion that these are human beings
Right.
going through what you just said, going through the same things that everybody goes through with the same aspirations, the same flaws. Really, that's a Greek tragedy. That's
Yep.
a Shakespearean tragedy,
Absolutely.
Empire.
Yep.
And that cuts across all cultures. So they didn't start there. What the networks did that copied that was because I read some of those scripts. And they came out and they go, well, we got to be diverse. Let's copy this. Here's the blueprint, and
Yeah.
it's all. And we'll just put this. We'll put
Doesn't
an
work
Asian.
like
It
that.
doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
It's not organic. It's not true.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And so you come up with a bunch of shows that, probably weren't successful for that reason, probably didn't get picked up for that reason, or didn't make it out of, a few episodes of their first season for that reason. I think you also, what ends up happening, I think, in a situation like that is you end up with a base of actors that then become pissed about it because they didn't get a job because a show needed to be diverse.
That's
Sure.
right.
And then you also end up with that. So then there's this weird thing of like this weird, I don't want to say backlash, but there's definitely, I think there's
Resentment.
there's sometimes resentment.
But on both
Yeah.
sides, right? It's because nobody wants to get a job because they were Asian, or you want to get a job on your merits.
Yeah, you always want to get a job on your merits. I don't think anybody wants to get a job purely just because of their race. For
If somebody's
sure.
better actor and I got the job because that doesn't feel that good for
Sometimes
for sure.
that's the way it works, isn't it?
Well, sometimes I think what
sure.
we're talking about is fair play. I think we're talking about representing the demographic that's out there that's watching a
Absolutely.
show,
So-
and I think that's only going to get more inclusive.
Absolutely.
I felt like that show Blackish. Think if they came out with a show Whitish or
Right.
Mexinish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chinese-ish.